hi, we are live now. I'm going to put right away in the chat, not to for anyone to click away, but just so you have it for later, and I'll put it in later again. This is the kind of teaser trailer for Patrick's um podcast, which I think the first episode might be out. Anyway, I'm Kate Lynch, Atypical Kids, Mindful Parents, and this is Patrick from
Weir.
Weir
Yeah,
from Parenting Pivot. I don't want to mispronounce your name. Sorry.
that's okay.
Thank you. From Parenting Pivot. And I'm so, yeah, anything you'd like to say to introduce yourself is great. I'm so excited to be connected with you and to be able to share um, your resource with our audience here.
Yes. So I guess in a nutshell, it's always weird. It's like, okay, please sum up your whole life, but just the parts that are relevant, right?
Just,
So, but
yeah, just what that is about. And then I'll ask you like more personal stuff, you
of
know?
course. So I'm a dad. I have a 10-year-old special needs daughter. So I've been doing this for 10 years. Um, and I have um I've been working on the Parenting Pivot podcast as a concept for I don't know, 8 months or something. And I have 2 episodes that are live now on YouTube and on Spotify. You can find the links to all the little places if you go to parentingpivot.com. And the third episode should come out, I believe, next week. And yeah, I mean, that's me and that's what I'm doing. I have another job that pays me money, and Parenting Pivot is my passion project. So,
Excellent. It's lovely to have that luxury, right? And that privilege. And
uh, yeah.
same here. I mean, I'm certainly not supporting myself on Substack, but I love this community and I feel so connected to it. So that's what's important, to be able to connect with each other.
I'm totally brand new on Substack, so forgive me if I do or say dumb things. Although, to be fair, just in general, that's pretty much a good idea for me. Just
Yeah, I mean, it's all about compassion here. So, self-compassion and compassion for each other and understanding. So, yeah, we try to, when the self-criticism comes up, we try to look at it and give ourselves the kindness that we would give another parent who's struggling in the same way, or our best friend, um, or a child, you know? So, I hope you can take that in. And yeah, if
no, you totally right. I just realized that my laptop was maybe interfering with. Well, I'm putting some light on my glasses. I'm also going to reach up and turn one other thing off to get a better connection.
no worries.
Here. Yeah.
So if you
Okay.
are here with us
Yeah.
live, you could put an emoji in the chat, just say hi. You could put a like. If you're here with us live, please ask questions to Patrick or myself. I was interviewed by Patrick. I don't know if that'll ever become an episode
You want?
because I was
Oh
so
yeah, yeah, yeah.
nervous.
No, you were great. You were great, and it absolutely will be an episode. So, yeah, I could talk about the process of how long it took me and what I've learned along the way, if you like. But it
And
is definitely coming.
let's think about what parents would most want to learn. I think that parents might want to learn what they will gain from episodes that are already out and upcoming episodes. And what is it that's special about Parenting Pivot?
So I think that what's really different about Parenting Pivot it's about the parent's point of view. It's not just like someone saying this is what you have to do. It puts parents first. Um, and the other thing too, um, that's really important is that I go out of my way to never ever, because I am a father of a special needs daughter. I am never ever going to say that someone's child is less than or there's a problem. It's never about that. It's always about like, look, I'm doing the best that as I can as a father, and everyone else is doing the best they can as a parent. And we've all had bad days and good days. But
Yeah.
the point here is that I want our viewers or listeners, if you're on listening to the audio version, to understand that you're not alone, right? You're not alone, and that every episode you're going to get something out of it that is useful. It's weird. Um, have you ever watched someone who's interviewed on TV and they're selling their book, right? They ask a question and they say something like, on chapter 4, I talked about this, and on the 6, I talked about that, and I get it. And I feel like I've been so amazingly blessed by getting to talk to people like you, Kate, and other amazing folks in this same kind of situation, doctors and all kinds of therapists, all kinds of amazing people, and I feel myself because I've been fortunate enough to do 8 hours of with all these different people. When someone else has this problem, I think to myself, you know, you know what Kate says about that, and it's like they haven't seen it yet, they don't know, and so I don't want to be like, let me do some self promotion, but I really feel like in my own life too, um, that I'm learning very, very powerful lessons from for whatever reason, it's all been women. So these amazing women that I have interviewed. And I also get the luxury not only of having an hour to talk with them, but then in the editing process, um, basically, if I interview you, just rest assured that no one in your life is going to be as focused on you for as many hours on that 1 hour of your talk because I'm editing it. So I'll listen to it like 20 or 30 times. I practically memorize everything that comes
Wow.
out. And so, because I edit, edit, edit. And so, what that gives me is like really a deep understanding of like where someone's coming from. And it's hard to cut almost anything out because it's just such hard fought wisdom from each of
Oh,
these
yeah, it
experts,
is hard-fought wisdom.
and and I am so moved by it. The my only regret is that I'm not already better at editing and lighting and all that stuff because I want to do the people that I interview. I want to do them justice. Like they're all amazing. I feel like I'm the weakest link.
But
And
yeah,
maybe
but
that's
wait,
good, right?
parents don't care about that stuff. What they
Yeah,
care about is getting what they need. And what I love, not to interrupt you, but I want to interrupt you because what I love about your format is that you really do put parents first, like literally.
yeah,
You you see and hear parents talking about their epiphanies, their challenges, their questions, their needs, and then you bring in someone to talk about either reframing those challenges or, working with those challenges, etc. So it really is putting the parents in this at the center and the struggles that parents might be having at the center. So you specifically chose certain themes for each episode. And I just loved you to run through those themes. That would be
yeah,
amazing because we don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. No, so I think that um, so I'm doing this on YouTube, and I'm doing it on like Spotify and Apple iTunes and stuff. So you have a couple different ways that you could look at this or consume the content, or however one
Right,
wants
right,
to
right.
put it. And I don't know. I think of this in sort of an old school kind of a way. So I looked at the way I thought about this is like a season. Okay, so in my mind, there is a season one, and I planned out all 8 episodes for season one, um, and I had rough outlines for all 8 episodes. And then I went through and talked to 4 sets of parents and asked them questions on the topics of each of the 8 episodes. And only then do I sit down with the experts. So in this case, it's true. My process starts with the parents and their experience, and then we give the people we interview the opportunity to watch all those clips first, so they understand where the parents are coming from. So it really informs their conversation. And for me, when I think about that first season, it is the beginning of the journey. So it literally starts from the first episode is about I've noticed that something is wrong, or I've noticed that something is different, or this doesn't seem the same as like my cousin's kid who's the same age, or whatever that means. And
Mhm.
what do I do about it? So we start at what do I even do? What am I looking at? Where do I even begin? And the season ends at a point, hopefully, where parents can begin to advocate for their child. And as we go through each of the episodes, the first one I said is like when you first know something's wrong. The second one, which is also out right now, is what do you do? Now you've got your neuropsych, right?
Mm.
What are we going to do about that? What does this mean? It's a stack of papers this big. Like, what do I do? And that's Dr. Liz Engoff. She's amazing. Talks about that. I mean, these are just phenomenally talented and accomplished, helpful, caring, compassionate people. And like I said, I'm so lucky to be able to talk to them. And so I'm hoping that it helps parents move through that. And
Mhm.
the other thing I was really fortunate about was I try to keep myself like, who is this for? And it's for us. I could really clearly define who this show is for.
Yeah.
And I try to think of my past self. But I was really lucky in that we have friends who have two young boys. And I mean, maybe you're like me. You could see some young kids and you're like, oh, I have an idea of what's going on, but I'm not going to talk about this because it's not for me to say.
Mm.
And so I thought about them, particularly for those first two episodes of like when you know something is wrong and then getting that neuropsych. And because they're friends, uh, they watched. And he came to me and he said, I watched this with my wife. And he's like, first of all, it's great. I love it. It's great. I was like, oh, thanks. And he's like, and it really sparked some really serious conversations. And I just want to thank you. We're going to we really like this is changing things for us. And so even though we're just starting out, I already have someone in this case, I know him, right? But I already have someone come to me and say, this helped. And that's all I wanted.
That is so powerful. 'Cause I remember being there and, I had family members who had concerns. I also had family members who were completely invalidating the concerns that I had. Um, and I didn't know that what we needed was a neuropsychological evaluation. So we went to a neurologist. Every kid in the waiting room had, either, you know, a wheelchair or something growing out of the side of their brain. It was not, um, it was and once we spoke to the neurologist, I knew this was not the place that was going to help us. We went to a developmental pediatrician, and that developmental pediatrician said, "Oh, your son is complicated." Great diagnosis. I mean, she did give a diagnosis, but it wasn't, the right one or the final one. And, and finally, it was another parent, who was like, "Oh, no, what you need is a neuropsychological evaluation. Here are a couple of recommendations for those." And then now, once I knew that, I could go forward. And then there was the obstacle of the finances. Um, but I didn't have that basic information when, my son was 3. So I'm grateful that that's out there, and there were people who knew something was up and didn't say anything for those exact reasons that you're mentioning of being, "Oh, it's not my place. Oh, I don't wanna say." But some of these people were professionals. If you hear the dog in the background, that is the puppy. I apologize. We do have a new puppy. I think most people, who follow um, our Substack know about this, but just in case.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, so if someone had sent me that, or if I had just found it on, I don't know how I would have found it because I don't think I was looking for content of that sort. But if someone had sent me a episode like that, it would have really helped me. Yeah, and I did watch the first episode. I didn't know the second one was out yet.
I've had to edit that thing so many times. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, I've edited it and redone it, and now I'm like,
Oh,
now I'm doing the same thing on the third episode. So it's like, all right, well, if I'm the weakest link, I've got to make me better. So let's work on that. So, yeah, what I am planning to do, in addition to the episodes that I have, is once I've gotten like 4 or 5 or 6 that are live, I'm actually going to go through and take the first 3 episodes and um and mash them together to make like a literal like send this to the person you care about. Because the first episode is, hey, I saw something was wrong. Second is like dealing with the neuropsych. What does it mean? Where do I even begin? And the third one, um, Dr. Randy Hirschberg, and she was amazing too. And we basically talked about, um, and this one comes out next week. We talked
Great.
about a feeling that I learned the term for a few years ago, and just like hearing this word, we like summed up where I was, and it's called ambiguous loss.
Yeah.
So that is, if you don't know, that's like um, you thought your team, whatever that means, you thought your team was going to win, and like you 100% knew it was going to win. Definitely, we're going to win. We're going to win. You planned your life. This is definitely happening, and then it doesn't,
Mhm.
and you feel like, I didn't get all the things, or I thought this was the winning lottery, and I transposed two of the numbers in my head, and I didn't win the lottery. Well, when that happens, you've already planned the house you're going to buy, right? But when that happens, you lost the money, but you never had the money. So did you really lose anything? No, but you lost a dream, an idea, a concept,
Yeah.
and that's what we as parents have to deal with too. You had this, when the baby's coming, you have this idea, you know, that my child's going to be, like me, but better because I know where I went wrong and I'm going to fix those things. Right. Um, and that, first of all, that's never the child you get. Or I don't
Yep.
think you ever get that child,
Mm.
but in our case, it's a real serious, change in expectations, and you love the child. Your child. That's your kid. You love them so much, and they're right there in front of you. But you still have this aching, like pain of loss of the thing that you thought you were going to get, and
Mhm.
reconciling those two feelings is really hard because you feel bad, but then you feel guilty for feeling bad, and it's just a mess. And
So confusing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So Randy Hershford was great, and she talked about that, and it was, yeah. So eventually, I want to take those three and make it a little bite size, shorten it down, and say, if you're a therapist or if you know someone, just forward this. They'll
Love
be less
that.
than me. You know.
Yeah. People feel less alone, and that's the main thing at first is feeling so confused and um, really not knowing where to turn for answers.
Yeah,
So thank you for being part of that illumination for parents like us. I really appreciate it. Do you have um, any final thing you'd like to say to parents of neurodivergent kids?
I would say that you really have to find your people. I'm on the PA of my child's school, and I tell people all the time, it's like, meet with the other parents because we've been there. You don't have to say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. This thing happened and my kid did this." It's like you don't have to say that. You don't have to
Mhm.
apologize. Just say what happened because we've all been there. Um, we're with you. We get it, right? So it's hard to find that group of people,
Yeah.
but if you do, hold on to them tightly because try to find those people who get it. There's online communities like yours and so many other places, but reach out and don't be afraid to say, I am really having a tough time.
Yeah. Thank you. There's the puppy. I think that's my cue to wrap this up. Here, I'll show you my adorable puppy who is wreaking havoc.
Oh
This
boy.
is Peanut, and he's young and he is excited. And he is the most neurotypical person in our family by far, or neurotypical being. He is social, he's super social, likes other dogs, likes people, um, and is the only thing is the biting. We're just still working on that. So and the teething, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
My daughter
Patrick,
my daughter would love that. It's a good thing she doesn't know there's
yeah,
a dog in there. So she'd be
yeah,
running right in.
we waited 14 years. So yeah. Um, and I still don't know if it was the greatest decision. The timing is never right, but so much love this little guy um is already giving us, and so much bitiness. Oh my goodness. Um, Patrick, thank you so much for coming on Atypical Kids, Mindful Parents, for this live interview. I know it was quick, and we want it to be because parents don't have much time, you know, including me. All right. So thanks
All right, thank you so
again.
much for having me.
Yeah. See you soon. Okay.
Okay,
Oh, and do you
bye
have
bye.
any idea when the episode will come out that on self-care?
Um, uh, so probably October, end of October, early November is my guess.
End of October, early November. Sometime in October or November. That sounds
Yeah,
excellent.
I will tell
Wonderful.
you ahead of time as soon as I know. I give people heads up. But it
Yeah,
basically
great. And
it's roughly it should be 2 weeks between each episode and they're coming out. But sometimes life happens.
oh God, I
My
know.
my wife, but how where I'm in the sandwich generation, but
Yeah.
my wife is like, it's not a sandwich. I was like, what do you mean? It's like it's a panini press
That's
because it sticks
exactly
when
what
you
I
down
said.
like this.
Because I'm also being squeezed from the sides. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Oh,
like
oh, oh.
my
So yeah, it's
my
been.
partner has a disability, so it's like all
Oh
the
gosh.
yeah, the whole stack.
Yeah, I've been solo
Yeah, it's
parenting for a
lovely.
week,
That's
and
funny that that's what your wife says, because that's also what I
yeah,
was saying. I love
yeah,
that. Well, give her a hug for me.
we'll do. All right,
Um,
thank you.
yeah, thank you, Patrick.
You're welcome.
Thanks for coming on. And this is not going to be edited. This is going to be getting posted right away, exactly as
Okay,
is. Um, and I'll send you the links. All right.
perfect,
Thank you.
perfect. All right, thank you. All right,
Thanks.
bye bye.
Bye.